Big Liverpool updates you don't want to miss. From Salah drama to transfer shocks and Man City build-up, it's all happening right now. Welcome to Anfield Wire, your daily dose of Liverpool news. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Ex-Liverpool star dreaming of World Cup spot after being denied by Mohamed Salah. Dominic Solanke left Liverpool for Bournemouth in 2019 after struggling for game time alongside Mohamed Salah and is now eyeing a place in England's 2026 World Cup squad. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah has few peers regarding the influence he wielded at Anfield. Bearing this in mind, a lack of playing time alongside the Egyptian shouldn't be a decisive factor when evaluating other former Reds' abilities. That's undoubtedly how Dominic Solanke might choose to view his short stint on Merseyside. The striker arrived in the same transfer window as Salah following his development at Chelsea, but would ultimately feature in merely 27 Liverpool matches before departing for Bournemouth in January 2019. As Salah prepares to conclude his Liverpool career at the conclusion of this season, it's evident that it would have required an exceptionally gifted player to compete in the same squad. Solanke perhaps wasn't at that standard as a youngster. He remained a teenager when he relocated to Merseyside, but has subsequently proved he possesses considerable quality at the highest level. It feels amazing and everyone has made me feel welcome already, Solanke remarked upon signing for the Reds in July 2017. The same month Salah completed his move from Roma. Even just pulling on the training top, I was over the moon. Hopefully, I can put on the shirt in the near future and make some good history here. The striker wasn't required to wait particularly long for his debut. Following his initial competitive appearance as a substitute against Hoffenheim in a Champions League qualifier, he secured his maiden Premier League minutes in a 1-0 triumph over Crystal Palace. Regrettably for Solanke, there was no immediate route to consistent first-team action. The Reds' formidable attacking trio of Salah, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane were backed up by the likes of Daniel Sturridge and Divock Origi, with their newly signed English striker netting just one league goal in a 4-0 win over Brighton on the final day of the 2017-18 campaign. Interestingly, then-manager Jurgen Klopp opted for a 4-2-4 formation on that particular occasion. While Salah may not have been the player who directly hindered Solanke's opportunities, he persuaded Klopp to stick with a favoured three-pronged attack that was inevitably going to make it difficult for the youngster to establish a pattern of regular football. Initially, Solanke's performances at Bournemouth suggested that Liverpool had done excellent business securing £19 million, $25 million for him. He managed just 3 league goals as the Cherries suffered relegation in 2019-20 and following 2 more solid second-tier seasons, ended up with 6 the next time he featured in the Premier League. That all shifted when Andoni Iraola arrived as manager. However, Solanke netted 19 league goals, only 3 players scored more, to help Iraola's team finish safely in mid-table and prompt Tottenham to table a bid worth up to £65 million, $85.8 million, including add-ons. Life has been something of a roller coaster for the striker since his move to London. His goals in Europe, including one in each leg of the semi-final, were instrumental in Spurs clinching the Europa League and reclaiming their place at football's top table, only for injury to sideline him for the opening 6 league phase fixtures in the Champions League. Solanke is yet to surpass 1,000 minutes on the pitch this season following ankle surgery, yet he has found the net in each of his 3 Champions League outings. He also delivered a memorable brace in a 2-2 draw with Manchester City and earned his first ever England start against Uruguay more than 8 years after picking up his initial international minutes while on Liverpool's books. His next ambition is to secure a berth in England's World Cup squad. It's the last camp before the US and the last chance also for me to get to know new players and to learn about new players, manager Thomas Tuchel confirmed. Several senior figures were rested for the Uruguay fixture before being recalled for a second friendly against Japan. Should he grasp his opportunity on Tuesday, Solanke will demonstrate just how far he has come since those formative days at Liverpool. Liverpool news as Micky van der Ven, doubts raised, and Alexander Isak claimed. Here's the latest Liverpool transfer news and rumours as Dean Saunders questions Micky van der Ven's potential move, while Bayern Munich's Uli Hoeneß comments on Alexander Isak's price tag as the summer transfer window draws near. Liverpool's planned approach will undoubtedly become clearer. Despite splashing out around $600 million last year, further investment may be required at the end of the season to steer the club back toward vying for the most coveted silverware. A poor defence of their Premier League title and tough battles against Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain in the FA Cup and Champions League suggest that the Reds could finish the season without any trophies. Defence has been a significant weak spot for Arne Slot's side this season, but the Dutch manager has now been advised to shift his focus elsewhere regarding one rumoured target. We also look at what a Bayern Munich official has been saying about Alexander Isak. Van der Ven verdict. Liverpool's reported interest in Tottenham defender Micky van der Ven has been widely debated. However, it's a move that the Premier League team should rethink, according to former Reds forward Dean Saunders. Saunders implied that the Spurs defender's habit of depending on his speed to evade dangerous situations means he cannot be ranked among the world's best. Who wouldn't find themselves in those predicaments in the first place? The former Wales striker told AceOdds.com, when speaking about Micky van der Ven, he is lightning quick, but I have played against defenders like him. I have played against the quickest centre-backs in the world, but it was never a problem for me. Being a top defender is all about your brain. It doesn't matter being quick if you don't have the brain. It helps you recover from mistakes, but you shouldn't make those mistakes to start. I want to bring in Man United's former centre-half pairing as an example. When Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic played, Ferdinand always came off the pitch with no mud on his shorts. The 61-year-old has cast doubt over whether the Dutchman has the tactical awareness necessary at the highest level, stating Ferdinand would read the situation and get there before the striker. And I am just not sure if Van der Ven's football brain is that good and if he can read the game. At this level, everything is about speed of thought. How can I get the ball before Erling Haaland? His brain is fantastic, and I just don't see it with Van der Ven. Ferdinand used to get the ball before me, and other defenders were running after me. I am really not sure about Van der Ven and his brain. Isak price tag. It's been a challenging campaign for Alexander Isak, who has battled fitness issues and patchy form before suffering a fractured fibula in December, sidelining him since. With only 3 goals from 16 outings following his £125 million, $165 million transfer, the Swedish forward has plenty to prove. A year ago, the 26-year-old was being mentioned among Europe's elite strikers, with names like Erling Haaland, Robert Lewandowski and Harry Kane dominating those discussions. Since then, it's the England skipper who has grabbed that mantle with a remarkable 48 goals in merely 40 matches this campaign. Kane's exceptional performances since joining Bayern Munich, combined with Isak's troubled first season on Merseyside, have prompted Bayern's honorary president, Uli Hoeneß, to aim a jibe at the reigning Premier League champions. Speaking to Kicker, the executive stated, Liverpool's Alexander Isak cost €150 million. If he's worth €150 million, then Harry's worth €250 million. 6 players Liverpool should sell in summer to raise transfer war chest. Liverpool could sell 7 key players this summer in an effort to raise funds and offset last summer's lucrative window that saw the Reds spend over $500 million. Liverpool may be in store for another summer of changes, despite spending £446 million, $597 million, as part of a record-setting 2025 summer transfer window. The Reds still have plenty of needs across the squad, so sporting director Richard Hughes may need to make a series of sales to raise funds to improve the team. Mohamed Salah is already on his way out and Cody Gakpo has flattered to deceive, which may mean Liverpool could certainly be in the market for a new winger. Ibrahima Konate and Andy Robertson both seem poised to leave on free transfers this summer too, as the pair are both out of contract. So here are 6 other players, a tally that includes 3 currently out on loan, that Liverpool.com thinks the Reds can sell this summer to raise funds. Federico Chiesa, winger. 27-year-old Chiesa's time at Liverpool hasn't gone according to plan. The Italian international has yet to eclipse even 500 Premier League minutes for the Reds. With 2 years left on his deal, Hughes could look to get a quick buck out of an Italian side for Chiesa. Harvey Elliott, attacking midfielder. Elliott, fresh off winning the Euro U21 Player of the Tournament last summer, has spent the 2025-26 campaign rooted to the Aston Villa bench. He'll look to secure a permanent transfer to a new club next summer. Wataru Endo, defensive midfielder. The 33-year-old Endo started 20 times for Jurgen Klopp during the 2023-24 campaign, though he's been relegated to an emergency choice defender under Arne Slot. He has a year left on his deal and should find a new club for next year. Stefan Bajcetic, defensive midfielder, another Klopp favourite. Bajcetic was bursting with potential during a breakout 2022-23 season. He missed both the 2023-24 and 2025-26 seasons with injuries sandwiched around a weird 2024-25 season out on loan that saw Barcelona interested in his services at one point. He has 1 year left on a cheap youth contract and will likely find a new club. Kostas Tsimikas, left back. The 29-year-old Greek left-back has logged around 1,000 minutes across all competitions on loan at Roma this season. While Milos Kerkez is the new long-term answer at LB, Tsimikas should find a new permanent home in 2026. Viteslav Jaros goalkeeper. Jaros has played nearly 2,500 minutes at Ajax this year during a strong loan spell. He'd be no more than third choice with the Reds, so finding a new home makes sense. Liverpool transfer news as Reds links with Luis Suarez debunked for 3 reasons. The latest Liverpool transfer news and rumours after an illogical report emerged in the Portuguese media. While Andy Robertson could be a target for a Serie A giant, Liverpool is being linked with a move to sign Luis Suarez, and no, it's not that one. Correio da Manhã reports that Liverpool and Newcastle are both interested in the Sporting Lisbon striker, who has scored 33 goals in 42 appearances for the Portuguese club this season. Liverpool must replace the goals in the squad that it will lose when Mohamed Salah leaves the club at the end of the season, and Suarez has been mooted as a possible option. Bar this season, Salah has scored prolifically for Liverpool in every campaign since he joined the club in 2017. Newcastle, meanwhile, is also on the lookout for goals, with last summer's signings Nick Woltemade and particularly Yohan Wissa having struggled to find the net for their new club. The link between Liverpool and Suarez is not steeped in logic, which brings the report's credibility into question. Firstly, Suarez is a central striker, and Liverpool needs a right-sided forward to take Salah's place in the team. Secondly, Suarez turns 29 this year, and Liverpool does not tend to sign players in that age category. And thirdly, the Reds spent a huge amount of money on 2 new central strikers last season in Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike. Isak arrived off the back of a season in which he established himself as one of Europe's most dangerous strikers, while Ekitike has had an encouraging first campaign in England and is likely to be a starter for France at this summer's World Cup. Meanwhile, Andy Robertson is being linked with a possible move to AC Milan on a free transfer at the end of the season. Robertson has been at Liverpool for 9 seasons, but this season has seen him lose his place as the Reds' first-choice left-back following the arrival of Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth. Calcio Mercato reports that there is no prospect of Robertson signing a renewal at Liverpool at present, and that he is being considered by Milan as a potential summer addition. The primary obstacle for Milan to overcome is said to be Robertson's salary, which sees him net more than $100,000 a week at Liverpool. Robertson hinted at his frustrations with his reduced game time at Liverpool when he spoke on international duty last week. He said, "It's kept me going at times this season, Scotland duty. I can safely say that, especially at the start of the season, with the international breaks every few weeks, it was important for me." 2 Liverpool stars facing seismic moment before returning for Man City match. Liverpool returns to action on Saturday with an FA Cup meeting with Manchester City at the Etihad, but before then the final World Cup places will be decided in midweek. 2 Liverpool players could earn a place at this summer's World Cup on Tuesday as the European playoffs are concluded in what will mark a seismic moment in their international careers. March's international break will see the identity of the final 6 teams confirmed, with Congo versus Jamaica and Iraq versus Bolivia to be played in the final World Cup pathway fixtures. The last 4 European qualifiers will be decided on Tuesday. Among the potential participants are Sweden and Italy, both of which have players from Liverpool. Alexander Isak will miss the Swedes' match against Poland through injury, although there are hopes the striker will be back in time to play for Liverpool after the international break. Isak played in just 4 of Sweden's World Cup qualifying matches due to various injuries and has not featured at any level since December after he suffered a broken leg in the win over Tottenham. Meanwhile, Federico Chiesa will hope Italy can secure passage to the tournament in North America. The former Juventus attacker was included in Gennaro Gattuso's March squad, but pulled out immediately after meeting up with the team as he was deemed unavailable. The Italians face Bosnia and Herzegovina in Zenica, aiming to qualify for their first World Cup since 2014. Italy finished second in qualifying behind a Norway side that won every match and is the favourite to qualify for the World Cup. Speaking about Chiesa's decision to withdraw from the squad, Gattuso said, "All players are different." Gattuso explained, "He didn't feel up to it, he went back home, and I have to accept that. If a player tells me he's not feeling well and is convinced of that, it's useless to keep insisting." Chiesa was called up, but he had a minor physical problem, and we decided not to include him in the squad. Elsewhere, Kosovo hosts Turkey in Tuesday's decisive playoffs, while it's Czechia versus Denmark in the final game. All 3 home nations were left disappointed last week as Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland and Wales lost their semi-finals. Those results denied Conor Bradley, Kieran Morrison and Lewis Koumas a spot at next summer's competition. The final international fixtures involving Liverpool players will all take place on Tuesday before they return to the club ahead of this weekend's FA Cup tie against Manchester City.